Hello, everybody. It's me, Christian. We're back for another day, for another opportunity. I hope everyone had a great weekend. I know I've been busy, with my family members, had to go to the doctor's appointment yesterday because I know some of them, have some health issues, but I know God is gonna heal them, get back to a normal life. You know, that's all it's all we can do, just to help and fight and stay strong. So yeah. Well, anyway, yeah, because you don't have to worry about people who are too suffering or getting sick, because people have going through some health issues, because sometimes it doesn't go away, but because God is our provider, you know because but and I said to him, he may not be our doctor, but God is our healer. He's gonna he's the only one, he's gonna cure everybody, you know who has been going through some difficult pain. You know it doesn't mean that they're not going to get sick every day, because you know because Jesus the Almighty, he's also the one that is going to you know take away all the pain and suffering from all of us, because we can't be saying, I'm sick, because because God does not want to hear that, okay? And because well, as for me, I'm just a lucky I am just a lucky person that I'm not gonna get sick, you know not to be ending up in emergency room like I did, a long time ago. So, and yeah, so we just gotta, because sometimes your loved ones get sick, just be there, to support him, to support them, to heal, because our world is not a way to live in, so we have to be very, just to be honest, tell the truth here, because because we notice that we're not suffering with that anymore, because we're not, I'm not expecting to see myself like this ever again if it happens, So I'm glad everything has been taken care of for the past month. Because you know, and as I mentioned, in my last video, I'm perfectly healed to live a happy life. So even though when you know well, I don't have a lover, uh but yeah, if my lover is sick, and ended up going to the hospital, I'm the only one is going to be there for her. you know Take good care of her until she uh miraculously, by letting this pain go away. So yeah. So yeah. Yeah. So yeah, don't just, as a revelation, 21 verses 3-4 talks about that, because it, as it mentions that, we are no longer sick, because death will be no more for that. Okay. And we because we know we're living in conscious living, having, you know take care, taking care of our family and friends who doesn't have a way to live there, even though if they're going through some difficult circumstance like that. And yeah, just pray for them, and we will help them, answer them, once it's all said and done. We don't have to, you don't have to come, you don't even have to go back there, for that, because God is gonna good take care of you soon enough, until you go back to our normal life, so we can make, you know go back to work. So because even though at my job, I see some, you know some parents, with their kids, who got really sick, and they are, because they are there, to take care of them, you know in order to progress once their surgery becomes successful again. And then they will, take some time, to rest until the pain goes completely away. Because I know that we will come back for a better living, and until you never know. All right. And just to let y'all know that, and thanks to, pray, and thanks to my little puppy, because I know she got very sick for the past few days. She was so scared of the storm, because she wasn't feeling too well of that, but God help my dog, you know heal her happily, until she comes back here and kisses me again, you know, until I get to spend some time with her, you know, taking her outside, you know, and play with her for a little bit, you know. So, but yeah, you know, and yeah, it's a good, you know, it's a good way, you know, to I come out here, you know, get some exercise, you know, because my body beautifully changes all around me, you know, having good habits of myself, you know, living a happy moments with my, not only myself, but also to my family, you know, so because I know we're trying to, you know, fight these hard times together until no one knows, you know. Okay. And yeah, you know, just to, you know, but, you know, and afterwards, you know, so thanks to everybody, you know, who has been going through this traumatic situation. You know, I know I've been trying to deal with all sorts of, you know, some tough variety, you know, but you know, but everything is worked out fine, you know, so I get to relax for the next few days until I'm ready to go back and start all over. All right. And yeah, you know, so just remember, man, because, you know, I know, because thanks to everybody, you know, who, you know, I've been, you know, try to help them, you know, taking, you know, just showing, you know, where the location's at, you know, even if I don't understand and I never knew all about it. And yeah, you know, yes, and you know, I handed to them, you know, the map to see where it is, you know, where the building thing, the medical building is at, you know. So we just gotta, you know, go see your family members or your friends who are sick, because, you know, they've been going through some tough times together, you know. So we just gotta be careful, take care of your health, you know, drink plenty of water, you know, stay active, you know. That's all you can do, you know. Just get it over with, you know. All right. Okay, guys, you know, that is my message for today. You know, you know, I'm glad everybody, you know, is, you know, doing really well, you know, asking for help. You know, even though you know, even though, you know, when times are hard, you know, ask them for help, you know, resolve the issue, what was going on, or anything like that, you know. So just to be patient, you know, let go your anger, you know, take, you know, like I always say, you know, take easily one day at a time, so you can come back and ready to start fresh. Okay. All right. So I hope you have a wonderful day. And the weather is not too hot out here just yet, but, you know, but I'm glad everybody's coming out here, you know, getting their workout finished for today, you know, so we can come back tomorrow and start all over. All right. So have a wonderful day. God bless you. I love you all very much. And we will talk about it on the next one. Thank you and take care.